A mission to find boobs turns into a mission to find love. Take off your pants and listen, because we saw milk money, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a Roscoe vest while ripping Justin to Kelly. Or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul, and the beautiful June. Gonna take you from the groove all the way to the room. Rain against the street fighter, help to blow off steam. Just a sucker punch the odd life for Timothy Green. Sharp middle, the birdemic, how we staying alive. They call it on the badass and he's on the line. Cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice. Cause the bad Jim Varney looking kinda nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They're just a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth! And hello, people of Los Angeles! Welcome to How Did This Get Made? I'm your host, Tall John Shear, and today we are talking about the 1994 Melanie Griffith Ed Harris rom-com children's movie about a sex worker and a scientist and really perverted kids. Boy, oh boy, we're gonna all break it down, but let me just give you a brief idea of what this plot is. First of all, I'll say this. It feels like this is a film adapted from a very famous French film. It's not. But it feels like, oh, no, of course this works. No, it's a movie about a young boy whose mother died in childbirth, and he longs having a mom, so he also wants to see a real woman naked. So him and his friends raise $100, we'll get into all of that, go to the city to find a sex worker, find her, and then somehow take her home, and then tries to get her to marry his widowed dad. That's the movie. Wow. Okay, it is a child's film. I think it was made by Disney. And watching it, I am shocked on so many levels. Just when you think it can't get weirder, it does. This is like Ari Aster could have made this movie. This is Beau is Afraid for night. Like, by the way, look at this. Like, put this in the theater now. You'd be like, holy shit, A24, you've gone too far. But you know what? We will break it all down, and I will do it with my co-host. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas.
What's up, jerks? How we doing, Largo?
So, Jason, you and I roughly, we're in a similar age group. I remember this poster. I don't ever feel like I saw this film. Like, it felt to me like it was too young for me, even though I was old. Like, I would have been the perfect age group for it.
I've never seen this movie.
Okay.
Didn't know this movie existed.
Got it.
Full stop.
Okay.
This movie is like a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup movie. This is, you got your stepmom in my something wild, right? This is a combination of Something Wild, the Jonathan Demme movie, where Melanie Griffith takes a young Jeff Daniels down the rabbit hole of insanity and crime and stuff, except in this movie, the Jeff Daniels character is a little boy.
I will say it felt to me like Working Girl for kids with sex work. Like it felt like there was an element of that I was like, oh, this kind of worked. Like, let's do it for
Stand By
kids.
Me, but present day at the time, but with a sock hop. This movie is a real Rubik's
instead of a
Cube.
dead body? I don't know. We're gonna break it all down.
Instead of do you want to see a dead body, it's do you want to see boobs?
We're gonna continue to break this down, and I have to do it with my other co-host. Please welcome to the stage, Miss June Diane Raphael.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, June. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Paul?
Very well. Thank you for asking. June, you and I watched Milk Money today, and at many points, we were ushering our children out of the living room. Like, get out of here. You can't watch this with us.
Yeah, it was. There were many times watching it where I thought, like, I'm going to be put on a list. And I should be. Like, I need to tell people I saw some of these scenes. You know, I need to come clean. I watched it.
I had a flashback, a hint of a flashback while watching this movie. Oh, didn't we do a movie where Patricia Arquette seduces Joe Gordon-Levitt, who's also a tiny child?
Yes.
I don't remember
that. Was
that.
a movie where...
Why do people... And that was Leonard Nimoy. This is Richard Benjamin.
Yes.
Like, what's up with these weirdos?
I don't know. I truly, because also, you know, I'm a coach, you know, for a soccer team, and I've been fingerprinted, and I want to go back and let the authorities know, like, take another look at me, you know?
But I will say, if I'm being fully honest, the most I've ever cried at a How Did This Get made movie was this movie.
Me too.
When we get to it, the number of times I wrote in my notes, I'm crying, ? I'm sobbing. At the end, my notes say, I am wrecked.
Listen, Jason.
When she hugs the backpack, I was like,
Stop. Listen, don't get me wrong. Again, I want to be background checked now, but I absolutely loved this movie.
Same.
I absolutely loved this movie.
Same. So much so that, Paul, I'm going to need you to bring out our other guest.
Well,
yes, because she's the one who introduced. We've already revealed one.
Here's
piece
what I'll
of
say.
It.
Oh boy.
For those of you listening, for those of you here in the theater, a couple of years ago, here in Los Angeles,
Audible gasps.
we did a show where we talked about a movie about a young girl finding herself through an imaginary friend. The movie was called Drop Dead Fred. It was a battle of wills, Team Sanity, Team Fred, and not since...
Team Fred!
I need to understand how you're going to define Team Fred, but we'll get into that because I think a lot of people who define Team Fred are actually Team Sanity. Anyway, the thing that I will say is, since that show, this guest has not been on this show. People have assumed that this guest was not allowed back.
They were right.
The truth is, we needed to find the perfect film. You know her as a member of Team Sanity. You also know her from her incredibly successful podcast, Bitch Sesh. Please welcome Casey Wilson. Casey Wilson.
Fred.
Guys, I know we are here to talk about Milk Money, but I just want everyone to know I could do 5 more hours on
Here's what's
we're
interesting,
moving on to Milk
and
Money.
I do think we need to address this to kind of clear this space and clear the air because
Do we have some Palo Santo to burn?
I do want a new experience tonight, and I want to start.
I don't want it
anew.
to be antagonistic. I
don't.
We're already, Paul, the way Paul has set the chairs.
I know.
Has set
No,
us
it
against
is.
each other.
I know, but
Now, I will. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack.
It's hard
here.
because I haven't even seen Casey since that night. I've not seen her, and just to see you right now makes me so
but
furious.
Jason, Casey is one of my very best friends in the world.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Okay?
so mad though.
I know, and what you have to know, an audience, what you have to know is that after that night, Paul and I drove separately to the show, and I got in my car and I called Jason. And we did some time together on the phone. There were a lot of texts going on between
We
the four
talked
of us.
numerous times over the next
And
few
it
days.
next
wasn't
couple
a
days we
normal
talked.
show where you go back and it's like, that was crazy, but like, I was in the parking lot like, fuck them.
Yeah.
They didn't get it.
Everybody who came to the green room after the show had a very strange experience with us.
Very strange. They were trying to find charcuterie, and we were just like packing up angrily.
We were kicking them out. We're like, we don't have time to see guests.
Yeah,
Get the
Mitch.
fuck
Yeah,
outta here.
Mitch Garrett, get the fuck out of here.
That was really horrible. 'Cause
Thank you for the art.
He's so amazing, and he saw our most toxic selves.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well,
that night.
I wanted to start this one off a little bit differently because we had a great listener to the show. He has a legitimate beer company. It's not made in somebody's house. It's called Wrong Crowd, and it's the Where Does the Butt Start Pale Ale.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Well, I will pass these out. I have 4 of them, and I have cups as well. This is it's a legitimate. We Googled it, so this is not poison.
I was just gonna say
I
this
want-
feels a lot like poison to me.
I wanted
Just
to make
because you
sure
give it to
you
me
don't
on
have
stage
to,
doesn't mean I'm gonna drink it. Wow.
But
Wrong Crowd beer.
what I love about this beer is, and I got cups if people want them. What I love about this beer is, there you go. Here
It
you
is
go.
weird as the boat.
Is that when you drink it, you really get the sense of being and how did this get made? Because if you look at the bottom of the can, it says right there, clear as day, Team Sanity.
What? No,
I wanted to.
I will not drink
Get outta
that.
here.
Nice try. Nice try.
Stop.
Nice try. What does it have? What does it have in it?
A
Insane
person who
juice?
named their beer, Where Does the Butt Start, is Team Sanity.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fucking
I'm
idiots.
so mad, Paul, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to start off differently. I want to start off differently with Casey, and I want everyone to know that Paul and I talked a little bit about that show, but not that much. Jason and I spent roughly 12 hours recapping it and honestly processing it. Casey, you and I have never talked about it.
No, and I don't even want to look at you.
It was literally like we never spoke about
Never
it again.
ever spoke about it once.
Nope.
I had a headache for 2 days.
I was hoarse.
Yeah.
I have to say, tonight is a healing space because something else happened that was so surprising. Obviously, Casey revealed herself to be Team Sanity, which was one of the most shocking moments of my life. But I also today
A
watching
real insane moment.
Watching Milk Money. I've known Casey since she was 18 years old. I've never heard you speak of this movie.
I love Milk Money.
Thank God.
And I love Milk Money too.
Eyes filling with tears
I
as I'm
also
talking about
love
it.
Milk Money. I
love
loved
Milk Money,
this movie
too.
like in
I
a
love
way
Milk
that
Money,
was
too.
like, I especially felt
This is healing.
it is.
That's what I'm saying. I
But-
think you brought Milk Money.
But I think we love it in the right way.
Look, I got a
I
lot
think
of questions.
June and I love it for the right reasons.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions about Casey. You said to me like this is one of your favorite movies growing up, right? This is a movie, and this is a movie that you saw. So I really want to
In the theaters, go on.
Okay, I want to dig into what that was like because seeing it as a child, my biggest question was, who is this for? I don't know if this is for boys, girls, 13-year-olds, 40-year-olds,
Yeah.
widowers, or
This is a real 4-quadrant movie.
it's
it
an
is.
odd. It's an odd movie because
It's What If Porky's, but for Stand By Me, also Pretty Woman, but
Yeah.
also
Terms
like,
of endearment.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, like in the beginning when the boys are in the treehouse, and he's like, and I'm gonna put in this box of the sacred shoebox a picture of a dead mother. I was like, okay, where are we going?
Actually,
here?
by the way, oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have a quote there. We're not 3 minutes into the movie, and I hear one of the most beautiful quotes I've heard on screen. One boy says, I don't know what it's like to have a mother. Another boy says, we can tell you. And the other boy says, you can't tell somebody something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
It's a gorgeous film.
there's
But
a
by the
lot-
way,
It is.
let me
There's
also-
a lot of great lines.
It
There's a lot of
is. There's some
incredibly
beautiful,
beautiful lines.
beautiful-
in
Yes,
this
from the
movie.
writer of Free Willy too. A lot of great lines.
But then,
Now-
Sorry, but
Um,
but
I-
then there
are.
are also scenes where a bunch of 8-year-olds appear to be watching porn.
Yes. All right, wait, hold on. I want to go back to this box,
Which is
because
cool.
this box is very high concept because I guess what I understand with the box like that is like it's like a time capsule. Let's put things in here. We'll look back.
Things we don't understand. They're meant to be.
But I was saying what we understand in the world is time capsules. We're gonna put our own mementos in here, and years later we'll see it. In this movie, it's like we're putting things that we don't understand in here. And we'll revisit it later to be like, we were dumb. Is that the premise of the box?
I would much
That's a good
rather they
question.
return to the box with more knowledge than test things out like a travel drinking cup.
AKA
That is
diaphragm.
a diaphragm.
By the way,
you put it away until someone notices. And you know what?
This-
Frank does know what it is.
this is a moment, and I didn't realize this until much later. Diaphragm's not really into the culture as much as I guess it was. But there was a movie called Club Med. It was a movie with Robin Williams and Peter O'Toole, like Club Med or Club Paradise.
Thank you.
And Club Paradise. And at one point, Robin Williams says, "Oh, you got a bunch of diaphragms in your pool filters." And I said to my dad, "What's a diaphragm?" He goes, "You don't have to worry about it."
You actually do need to worry about it quite a bit.
It was
quite a
said
bit.
so shockingly that it's always been burned in my head. Like,
But your
what
dad-
did I say? Like, we were watching a movie. I didn't understand what was getting stuck in the pool filters. And he's like, "You don't need to worry about it." And then, I knew a diaphragm is like a breathe, like you breathe with your diaphragm. And then I was like, "How is that in a pool filter?" And my dad worked at a pharmacy, and then one time I was in the back room getting something from the back, and I saw diaphragms. And I was like, "What's in this box?" And I didn't know.
Shouldn't these be in the pool?
Diaphragms to me, that's the first time I've seen one.
But to be
I have children.
To be fair, Paul, your dad was right. By the time it came around, you didn't need to know about
Yeah, I guess
diaphragms.
you're
Don't worry about
They
it.
were
at
RIP. It's like
all.
saying to this crowd, "Did you know about sponges?" No.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonzo.
It really did
Or
make me
foam.
think like diaphragms were crazy. The idea of having to like put in, because my question was always, when do you put in a diaphragm? Like just right
Like, I
before?
think right before.
Wow, that's
Can we get? Is there a diaphragm? Somebody who's used a
any
diaphragm?
diaphragm users?
Does anybody want to speak for the diaphragm?
I just
I mean,
also
listen,
don't.
I guess it's
I
no
don't
different
understand
than
how it
putting
hooks
on a-
in. I don't understand.
Paul, let's take that.
Paul, I'd love to examine
that.
Paul's the hand motion that Paul did when he say, "I don't understand how it hooks in."
God.
Ugh. Like a
You
bra
fold
clasp?
it like a menstrual cup and
Do you-
it expands.
do you think
it
it's-
expands in there. So
Yeah.
you don't
Oh.
put it in just like trying to shove that thing in.
But because of what that kid was holding up, I was like, "That's it." Like again, I haven't seen it.
You gotta
Yeah.
fold it and make like a little C shape and then you insert
Okay.
it and then it
like-
opens.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. I thought that you
It's
just
like
kind of like. I thought like at the point of entry, you just drop it in front, like, "Yep."
It's like
Wait, you thought you put it on the outside of the vagina
Yeah,
just as
I
like
never saw it.
and then you put it on
dental dam?
June.
Yeah.
June, you put it on the outside. You breathe deep.
Well, that's what
And it
made me
gets-
think I
it
couldn't.
gets
I
pulled
couldn't
in.
understand how you would ever do it.
You
I was
know,
like, of
because
course.
the one mouth is connected to the other.
I will say there's so many things about this movie. The premise, though, the beginning premise is these kids have access to a lot of porn. They're not only watching
Where did that porn come from?
the dad.
Which one? Not Ed Harris.
Wait,
No, the dad who used.
Oh, of
The
course
creep
that
dad.
Of course that
Well,
dad.
all right. So I wanted to just show some of the porn because at a certain
What?
point when
wait.
What's happening, Tom?
Paul, no. Paul, we're going to
Hold on.
respectfully say no.
No.
Please
you're gonna learn a
don't
lot
show
about
this
me tonight.
audience
Oh.
some
Hey,
of the
get
porn.
ready to flip that
My
switch
friend
about
is
Team
here.
Sanity, Team Friend. It's where the butts
This
start
is
here.
Largo. We don't.
Look, I have to defend Paul no matter what. Tonight.
Thank you, Casey.
You know, on this
No,
stage,
when-
Oh, you're
I'm
dr-
with him.
You're drunk on Team Sanity beer.
But here's what I'll say: is like these kids, their collection of porn is massive, and it seems to me their lack of understanding of sex with the amount of porn they have access to is imbalanced.
Sure.
Like even when they're watching the thing, they're like, "That's
Sure.
elbows." Like, keep it playing, buddy. Like, because when
Turn
they
it off at the best part.
yeah, because here we go.
Wait,
when
do
they're
you
in the-
have that movie?
No. but like it was like I just sort of felt like it was interesting.
It was getting somewhere.
Yeah,
It was
like we
starting.
were about to get there, and they were like, "Turn it off."
I mean, now look
We
at these.
do need to find Melanie.
This is the porn.
No, but I mean, okay, I want to be very clear. We're talking about a movie. You're talking about porn as if it's the porn of today.
Okay,
He's
hold on.
handing someone a Frolics magazine.
Frolics. How about
These
this
are
one?
like
Nurses in
nurses.
bondage.
Still a lot,
Yeah.
Jason.
These are like
Playboy.
yeah, these are very
1994 porn wasn't like the Stone Age. It wasn't like, a pinup girl in black.
But they
like,
also
oh,
don't
I'm
have-
wearing a bra. Like, it wasn't that.
But some of this is that. There is a I guess I liked that they were this also reminded me of was it Good Boys? Was the movie
Yes.
The Good Boys? Or right? Yeah. In a way too, because there was something about like this kid selling all of his porn is in school.
He looks like he's got
is
zines.
in school.
He's got magazines. He's got a homemade porn zines. He's got
Listen.
VHS tapes. This kid's running a full business. There's a line
They-
up and down his hallway like there was a sneaker drop. No teacher in sight.
They do a good job, I felt like, at least for Frank especially, dialing in a genuine innocence that
Right.
I believed or that I was on board for.
I totally agree. I mean, listen, until Melanie Griffith shows up at the house, the movie is utterly insane. And I don't know why. I really don't know why they need to see, because they've seen naked women. They've seen
Well, that's what I'm
lots of
saying.
naked
Like, the
women.
idea is like what-
But they need to see one in person. And then why she goes with them, and then she does it. And you all have to sit with that.
Yeah.
We all saw that.
That's right.
Okay, that's what
we have to contend with. That's what
That's
we're up
what
against
we
with
Yes.
Milk Money.
That is
Today.
that moment. First of all, them coming into the city, I thought this is the best representation of a city on midday. It's neither like it's daunting
city
but
was it?
cold. Where
they ride their bikes to the downtown of it.
Where
Wait,
was
what is it?
Indy.
It's Pittsburgh. Oh, that makes
Pittsburgh.
sense.
That's
I have a very strong history of Pittsburgh and Mannequin too. But I will tell you this much. But they walk in and it's like,
Speaking of where does the butt start?
yeah, that is. So, but that idea, like when they get there, it's like, oh, it's dangerous, but it's also not like, it just feels like adult in a great way. I like the way that they presented the city there.
Oh,
Like,
the kids were shockingly out of place.
Yes.
Yes.
Like to me, in a good way. And I was like, is this the movie? I genuinely thought this was going to be a kids, when their bikes get stolen and they're stuck in the city, I was like, oh, is this going to be the fucking movie? And I'm on board for it.
Yeah.
But no, they go straight back.
Well, listen, we need to get to Ed Harris
Oh, yeah.
because it's one of his best performances.
Absolutely.
Hands
It's the
down.
most open I've seen him.
Yes.
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 I agree with
Casey.
this. I agree
He's
with all of this.
available.
He
this is to me, I'm picturing him going to work on the Apollo 13. Like I'm tying this into Apollo 13.
This
like
is
he
him.
comes home.
Well, no, I feel like this is the only Ed Harris performance that I've ever seen where he seems emotionally lost and bereft.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was
Like he
beautiful.
feels
It was
lost.
beautiful.
Like Ed Harris in the greenhouse
It
with Melanie
was-
Griffith in pajamas, all
No,
muddy. I was like,
that
he's got it.
scene and the two of them together in those pajamas, muddied. I was like,
With
Compared
those,
to
with
Ed-
those dog footprints.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they really were very
Compared
messy.
to Ed Harris in like Westworld or National Treasure 2, which I inexplicably
Pollock.
just watched.
Yeah.
it was a beautiful performance. And
The best moment, though, I think, is when he eats the microwave dinner on the lawn
Oh,
with his son, and they're racing who can eat the fastest. A great
they
family
are
game.
they are so good at conveying the true desperate heartache of these two, like that they are this pair that feels lost in the world.
I cried when he was taking the laundry out. No, I've never done the laundry for my children. So I'm a mother, but it still got me when he was taking it out himself. And
As the
tea
person who
kettle.
does
It's
all of
beautiful.
Casey's children's laundry,
you can
that scene resonated with me.
Yeah.
By the way, June got so angry with me the other night.
night. You're gonna speak about laundry. Careful.
Look,
I want to keep this night
We'll
light.
cut this out
Okay,
of the
wow.
podcast.
All right.
Team
What
laundry.
you gonna say, Paul? Because I know what I do. But go
I
ahead.
said like this. I said to June, I said, I like doing laundry. And she's like, you like doing laundry? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, and walked away. I've
never been so disturbed.
seen such
What's
disgust.
there like about it?
And-
People who say they like to like domestic work and doing these household tasks, like I do think there's something a little off about you.
But do you mean?
I do.
Did you mean it in regard to like? Because I would say, I like doing laundry more than the dishes.
Yeah,
Like
me
in
too.
terms
that's
of
not how he
chores
was saying
ranked?
it, Jason.
Okay,
It wasn't.
okay.
Yeah, we.
I like doing
we
the
weren't
laundry.
Putting things. Period.
I like
Period.
laundry. It's fun.
I tried to get you to go to the movies the other night, and you were like,
Absolutely.
"I've got a load of
I do
whites
laundry.
in."
Don't get me started. Like when we go on a vacation, he's barely in the hotel room. He's barely arrived at the place we're about to go to.
He's
And
finding a laundromat?
He's starting to load.
Got to
I'm
get
like,
a load in.
What could we be laundering?
Well, Jason and I had this debate just the other day. You weren't a part of this. It was part of Last Looks.
Okay.
All right. And we can maybe throw it out to the crowd. Casey, I'd like you to be an impart. I won't tell you the side of it. If you are packing for your children on a 7-day vacation, how many pair of pajamas are you bringing your children? Hold on.
For me-
We'll
Answer,
get
let
to
her-
you.
For me, 4.
4.
what?
And June?
Maybe 5.
8?
8. 7-day
Man.
vacation, 8 pair of pajamas.
What?
On vacation.
For
Why
me-
would I do laundry
Because
there?
they can wear it 2 to 3 nights each.
And she
Easy.
says no. She says no. She looks at me like
For
that.
someone who doesn't like to do laundry, that's quite a request.
I believe pajamas, and this is a fundamental difference between us. I believe pajamas are a single-use wear. You wear pajamas.
Audience?
That's
you're in
insane.
them.
If anything,
No.
they're the most used
Yes.
wear of all our clothes. I'll get a pajama top. I'll get an undie
Yeah.
a week.
I
What are
agree.
you doing? You're just sleeping in it?
I'll go one step further. When I go on vacation, I pack 0 children's pajamas. 0. Because I am childless.
You're doing
Wouldn't
so
it be
much.
weirder if I was like 11?
You're doing so much sweating. You're doing. You should.
So much.
Take a bath. You're the
How-
most clean you've ever
The
been.
minute I get into a hotel room, boom, 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 58 degrees. I
I
don't
like it
sweat.
cold too, but there's
June
things
is
that could
treating
be
like
happening.
sleeping as if, yeah, you just got done with the gym. So you take off your clothes and you pop them. Yeah, like
Yeah, they're the most clean they've ever been after the bath.
I am an active sleeper. And our children have woken up a few times with like and come downstairs with like wet heads. They're sleeping
Well, that's
so
because
hard
they're
at
in
night.
like flannel pajamas 90% of the year.
They look so
We
cute
live in a
them.
desert climate.
They look so cute in them.
And we've also had battles about this.
They're so
that
dehydrated.
June wants them in very tight pajamas because
of fires, house fires. You walk.
Wait, you think loose pajamas are going to cause so much friction
If
they'll
a
start a
child
fire?
wakes up, no. If there's
It
a
is
fire, and we
true.
got to get the kids out quickly. I don't want them to catch a flame.
I have seen them.
Wait, you think they'll be that close to the fire?
Seen your kids in a
hope
tighter
not.
cut. Yeah.
Do you have them? Do you buy regular pajamas and have them tailored?
No, I like them. No, I don't get
she'll
the
be
tailored.
like, if they're an 8, she's like, put them in a 6 or a 7.
What?
She knows that she can't defend it.
What?
This is
This is
my
when they need to
this
be
is
the
my
most
moment.
comfortable.
I've
Thank
never had
God.
this many impartial judges.
Thank God we've never been in a situation where we've had to rush the kids out of a burning
Of course
house.
not.
But
every
should we
night
be
they're
in
in
that
too small
situation?
clothes.
No.
In just in
Yes.
case.
My children look like
Paul.
sausages at night.
They're like in all of my dreams, I'm in a spider's web. I'm stuck in a cocoon in all of my dreams.
Sometimes when I put on their pajamas, I'm like, ugh, give me a.
You put them on
pulling feet
yourself?
Through. What?
No, nothing.
Just imagine them. Just imagine the entire house in flames, and like we gotta go, and we're grabbing a child, and we're running through flames. It could happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, to me,
Yeah, I mean,
if
not
they're
about
if
the
they're
tight
so
fit.
close, if they're so close to the flames that a correctly sized pajama gets ignited, then they're just too close. Then you guys are too
don't
close.
know. This could be the difference between life or death.
It's not.
Tiny.
It's not.
But I've also
thing
never
right
seen
here.
kids' pajamas that have a bell bottom like that.
Don't your kids sleep in boot cut pajamas? Low rise boot cut pajamas are back in style. Holy shit.
Anyway, this movie, Milk Money.
Clothing. Paul, if
That's
I
a
could
good
say,
edit point. Yep.
Clothing plays quite a role for me when I
Yes.
watch Milk Money. There's a lot of triggering scenes where, I couldn't help but think of the mother that passed in Milk Money.
Casey, I knew you were
Like
gonna say
she's
it.
rolling in her grave, okay? She's got her son just jonesing to get the dad fucked by Melanie Griffith and just pulling out her old dresses and just giving him.
I was shocked.
It
No,
was shocking.
It was shocking. And Ed Harris, I said to Paul, this was a very disturbing moment between the two of us because we watched it together. And when Ed Harris didn't recognize that dress right away,
June.
I was so fucking angry. And I said, Paul, if another woman walks down here, stands in front of our home, okay, with my clothes on, and you don't recognize them. And he goes, you have so many.
Slam.
I found it, and I loved Ed Harris in this movie, and I
Incredible.
loved his character so much, except for that.
He did say when
Except for
told, I thought it looked familiar.
But she wears them again. She puts on a different
Oh, she
dress.
wears multiple
That's
dead mom clothes.
absolutely inappropriate and weird.
Well, wait, but let me ask you a question. I'm asking this again. I'm opening myself up to a lot of ridicule here. I don't find her outfits to be that provocative. Like when we've seen other representations of this profession, you see like a lot of maybe leather or this.
I think it's because in this movie, she's got a body for business. And
Okay,
a
all
head
right.
for sin.
All right, so that's basically
She's
just
got
because
that
she
body.
has just because she has
Yeah.
breath. Because like people are when she comes into the school office, she's wearing this it's a fine outfit. It's like it doesn't feel overtly like
But isn't that the dead mom's outfit?
no.
Oh, Jason.
Jason.
Jason, that's her uniform. Jason, those are like her fatigues. Like she's in those day in, day out.
Yeah.
That's just standard issue.
It is?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
She's
Her
wearing
work clothes.
when
That's
she
what
goes
you-
into the
Yeah.
school, she's wearing like a bodysuit and
Now,
like
was that the
But
dead
was
mom's
that
bodysuit?
bad?
guy. I gotta be honest.
No.
Her clothes in the city are a blue, micro
Love
dress.
that dress.
Right? Incredible.
Velvet.
Like
Yeah.
insanely beautiful, hot, crazy. And then once she's got the tan overcoat, right?
Sure. Yeah, the trench
Yes.
coat.
And from then on, it's the dead mom's clothes.
No.
No, it's only from
This
when they add
outfit,
it.
Jason. What?
Hold on. What?
Jason? She's wearing like almost. She's
Wow,
wearing.
this audience is
Okay,
surly.
Noted.
You guys-
Team Sanity.
She's wearing
That's
essentially.
a team Fredder right there.
She's
If
wearing
they're
like
ever-
a very Ren Fair type of look in a way. It's like it's corseted and it's a little like olden days and.
But she really turned heads in it, if you'll recall at dinner. Every extra was like, boom.
Well, yeah, those women in the
everybody in-
office are like, fuck you. Like, they hate her.
And
Like,
everybody in town, when she walks down the street in town, everybody's like, boo.
I thought she looked amazing. I
But
would have
she
turned my head.
did
as
Incredible.
well. I
so
thought she looked
good.
amazing.
Incredible.
Everybody's so hot in this movie. Ed
How about the
Harris
guy-
has never looked better.
Ed Harris needs a little bit of a
so
messy
good.
hair
Yeah.
and an untucked shirt. I
Unkempt.
like him like
Well, he's
that.
got an untucked
Loved
shirt
him.
right there.
Yeah, I like him like that.
Oh, no, he's
That's
great.
not the greatest shot, but
No, I think that's a
You
great
know what
pick
I
of
thought
him.
was
He looked
so
great.
cute? The guy who held the gun on the two children at minute 13 of the film. I thought that was so.
But
yeah,
that's what's
fun.
incredible. There's so much. There's so much, and we're talking about it like very sweetly, like it's a very almost wholesome story in a lot of ways, and
Yeah.
especially because there is a gritty city component, but then we quickly leave it behind for an almost Pleasantville style,
It's like a gal who
small
wants
town.
to live in a sweet suburb.
And so much so that we're also participating in the nostalgia for the 50s,
Yeah.
which is the leather jacket and the gelled hair and the sock hop at the end of the movie. But regardless, we're still faced over and over again with these grim realities Like the guy who pulls the gun on the kids, and then one of the kids goes, "You saw your sister naked in the shower?" "I was hiding in the laundry basket." Or, like, that's also part of it.
My favorite two parts of this movie are the arguments between Anne Heche and blank. Anne Heche and Casey Simansko in the beginning where he goes, "You're not a person." She goes, "She's kind of a person." "She's not a person." "She kind of is." "She's not a person." "She kind of is." And then later on with Malcolm McDowell, he's like, "You're not worth a bullet." And she's like, "I am." He's like, "You're not." "I am." "You're not." Like,
But that's-
they let that go on so
long. I'm like, one person couldn't just mix it up a little?
But that's what I loved about it. I really did. I
Same.
was like, oh, this is so weird and interesting. And her defending not how much she's worth really, but just that she knows she's worth more than a bullet. And I was like, God damn it. I loved her character. I would pay such good money to see a movie just focused on her. When she was dancing outside that sock hop, I'm like, this deranged nutter butter.
Oh, yeah.
I
So
love
at
this
14
woman.
years old, she ran away. Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith, yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't get to know. That's what's
That's it,
interesting.
we don't get to know anything.
Because I
Don't
think
know much about Eve.
we don't know much about Eve.
But
and I think
the movie
reason
is all about her.
It is. It is.
Unspooled.
But I think this is not unspooled,
How
Jason.
dare you?
Oh, this isn't unspooled?
No, this is how.
Yeah,
this
that's
got
right.
made.
This is fun spool.
I think the reason is, of course, if we were to learn more, and I wonder if they cut it out, it would
Get too
I
dark.
think,
Ooh,
get too
please
dark
release the
too
director's cut of this
quickly.
movie.
You know, and I have to imagine, because what I really didn't understand about this movie, and I loved it, and this is not a critique. This is a
God,
question.
no. Because
God, heavens,
we're
no.
putting it into the AFI list. We don't want to critique it
Yes,
tonight. Not
right.
tonight.
Criterion.
I would legitimately put this in the top 5% of movies we've covered.
Absolutely.
You know, it only got 12.
I agree.
I mean, I
agree.
had intense emotional reactions.
What else are we looking for from a movie? I laughed
It
a lot
had
too.
that, like Kathleen Kennedy, like that had
Yes.
that sheen on it, that nostalgic sheen that we kind of
so
grew
little
up
But it didn't
weird.
have
That
score,
movie is
But it
weird.
wasn't it didn't have any Amblin-y stuff. It didn't have
Paul,
any
no
like
one's on
That's
your
right.
team tonight,
I know,
sweetie.
and I'm holding my tongue a lot, but I'm
Sorry,
going to say the big moment, and you could please don't be on my side, but not because I want you to be honest,
Yeah.
but the way that they like go into making love.
That
is
was
him-
tough. I'm with you on this.
Okay,
Go ahead.
him waxing poetically about his ex-wife, and he's like, to me it feels like he's like, if I really focus, you'll be her, and that's it. Because why does this kid even want her to be his mom? They don't even know each other.
Oh.
She's done nothing.
Paul.
At the point that he's
Paul.
saying yes.
Whoa, wow.
Paul, he's seen her breasts.
No, he has not.
I know.
He's
He
a
didn't.
gentleman.
He's a
He
gentleman.
ate Cheetos.
Frank is a gentleman.
I do wonder
such
though
a
what
gentleman.
what he like connected to with her, because maybe that's a deleted
How could
scene.
you not connect to her?
Oh,
She's so
when he's-
effervescent, and she's
And
so
this is
warm.
one of her best performances, I think.
Oh yeah,
When
they're
he
great. I do
says,
like her in this.
so this is what it's like. What?
Don't say it.
To
Don't
have
say it,
a
Jason.
mom.
Jason, don't cry.
When he says this is what it's like to have a mom, I was shattered. This kid gets it. This movie, that's why I put it in the top 5%. You know what doesn't make me cry? The rest of the movies that we do, except for The Odd Life of Timothy Green.
No, this movie works on every level.
But do you think? All right.
If
would
I'd
you be-
seen this as a child, this movie would have felt like it was telling my story. I would have felt like, this, I want that. How does this?
You're Frank, or
Frank.
who are you?
Yeah, no, I'm a total Frank. I'm not the perv watching my sister shower. And I'm not Kevin, who's like, I think having a Home Alone. He's like, this movie is also almost Home Alone.
Yeah.
Well, by the way,
They do a bunch of Home Alone kind of. I felt like side
Yes, with the
references.
bad guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is interesting that we don't get to know that much about her. And this is where I really want to tip my hat to Melanie Griffith, because we don't get to know. We don't understand what happened at 14. We don't really understand why she also wants to leave over and over again. Like, I was like, this seems like a great setup. Stay here. You got clothes.
Well, I
You
think
got
Got a treehouse.
yeah, that nice little treehouse up there. You got the wetlands. Like, what?
Well,
And
I think that because she can't be honest with herself, right? She's living a lie. That's why she wants to leave. She doesn't want to live a lie. She wants to be Eve, not V, Eve.
Well,
But
she
But for
doesn't
her
know.
to be Eve, she's got to admit to being V.
Well, no, but for a lot of the movie, she thinks that Ed Harris knows what she does for a living,
And
and
they play
accepts
that
her.
game out beautifully. That first
yep.
scene, I laughed.
And that's what we're talking about with Ed Harris. That, like, whatever that likeness is,
Yes.
I'm like, oh, he is
Done
great.
beautifully.
But,
It's
like,
an
That
incredible
scene in the
performance.
hands of, like, and I hate to put us all down up here, and I don't mean to, but just so sorry, but like
Wow.
just a comedian, like it would have played too jokey. I thought he played it gorgeously, and I didn't mean to put you all.
Wow.
Everyone's so
Why did
quiet.
we have to take it?
But
back?
here-
I know.
Wow. Why do you have to diminish us in order
I
to?
didn't mean you guys. I just.
Prop
No, but you're
Ed
right.
Harris.
You're right.
Legend.
We would have
Legitimate
leaned into it
legend,
too much.
Ed
I
Harris.
will speak for myself.
It's
I
a
would have
subtle
leaned in a
touch.
little bit.
So you're
it's a
saying that
subtle
Jason
touch.
and Paul, if in that role,
And you.
There you go.
I think I could pull off an Ed Harris in this movie role.
I'd like to think I could too. I'm worth
I
more
could
than a
pull off
For the
Malcolm
list-
McDowell. Get over here.
I feel like I would
dummy.
only get the opportunity to play Casey Siemaszko.
That's
But
the thing.
but boy, would I like to be Ed Harris.
I
You know
would
what?
like to do one of those things that they did in that Wayne's Brothers movie, Little Man, where they put my face on a child's body, and then I would play one of the children.
I do think you're right, though, Casey. It's that scene for her
And
too.
I shouldn't have put others down to make that
know, it's
point.
like,
I'm so
that
sorry.
really was tough.
I know.
All right, so I'm going into Netflix. You guys get to greenlight all the movies, right? And I go,
Yeah.
all right, so the fun thing is,
Paul,
you know-
we're big fans.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you
Oh,
so
we're
much.
big fans. We're so excited to hear
Thank
what
you
you
so
came in
much.
to
Yeah,
talk about.
love the podcast.
So,
Do you want any water, Paul, before
I
you start?
I got plenty of water. I used that little soda machine in the front. It was
Do
great.
you want to get validated now, or
I talked to somebody out front. And they had we got the validation. So, but if I go, so yeah. So when we get to the middle of the movie, we'll have we'll have the sex worker dress up, cosplay as the dead wife, and then we'll put the dad and the sex worker up in the treehouse, and the dad will just kind of talk about how much he loves the dead wife and he's really not over her, and then they'll like fuck.
wait? Will they fuck or make love?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, make love.
Because
We're
here's
in.
the thing. Here at Netflix, we're not interested in fucking. We're interested in making love.
But I mean, that is like what happens. Like, I guess I just feel like Ed Harris isn't over the loss of his wife.
He just has never dealt with it because he's
Okay.
put the photos up in the,
That's
I
a
agree.
plus. That's a
She's
win.
giving him a window to get at it.
She's pulling both of these people out of the absolute devastation and heartbreak and grief and loss that they are in. She is a lifeline for both of them.
It's true. It's hard to say
And in
that.
lesser
that
hands, it would have been an insufferable movie.
I would argue
It's
that
hard to
most
say
people
that-
who saw this felt it was an insufferable movie.
Wrong. These people are wrong. Just keep in mind, you're agreeing with Paul?
What?
12%
12%
on the
Rotten
tomato
Tomatoes.
meter.
Interesting.
But I think those numbers are off if 3 of the 4 of us are in love with it.
I know.
Also,
People are watching and they're trying to connect. Okay, I'll go there. Yes, I agree. Ed Harris is great. But there are some things that are fucked up here.
Okay,
there
Paul,
we
no
are
one's
not talking about.
denying that.
We are
You know
like
what,
a
Paul?
family, like
Denying
not
that.
like
You
I
know
was
what,
once
Paul?
told that there was a member of my family that somebody kept in an attic, and then we were like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, we never talked about her. That's weird, but we like. That's like the kind of stuff that's going on in this
name
movie.
like 6 crazy things that happen in
Okay.
this movie. Money where your mouth is. Like what? Do they let the kids drive a car? One working the steering wheel, one the pedals? And then the steering wheel pops off.
Right.
Then they're almost hit
By
by
the way-
both two twin
How about this
big
moment?
rigs and then a
How about
train.
this
An
line?
adult in
Lift
the
up your
car who just seems to not be able to get over to get the wheel.
How about this moment when Melanie Griffith talks to 3 12-year-olds and says, "Take off your shirts."
Oh.
Oh, good. You're not hairy enough to be dangerous.
Yeah.
That was the last line.
And there was a cab
You
driver.
were concerned?
I
There
love
was
that line.
12-year-olds?
If I'm that cab driver, I'm reporting that.
The cab
Also,
driver was
sadly,
reacting like I was.
That is the part they would give me in this movie.
I would have been the wife of the guy who had slept with Melanie
I felt
Griffith.
the same thing, Casey. I was like, that's my role.
Unfortunately.
There it is.
By the way,
I'd be like, "She's a
another
good
weird thing that
dancer."
happens that someone in this town is actively using, has a little black book. He's like, oh,
And
hey,
we
give
get
me
a
V.
scene. We get a scene where an individual scene,
Yeah.
where Kevin's dad,
We went home with him.
creeps out of bed,
shocking.
peeks if his wife is asleep.
It was
tip,
shocking.
Tip down, calls the escort service and bitches them out because Melanie Griffith is inexplicably in his town.
I didn't understand
He's
that.
like, hey, control this woman. She's in my town.
And by the way, the escort service is just Anne Heche, but yet Anne Heche and Casey Szymansko worked for Malcolm McDowell, who works for Jimmy
Everybody's
the Pope.
got a boss, Paul.
Did you not learn anything?
And in that moment, though, why does that man get out of the bed and then redo the sheets as if he was never there? To what end is he? Who is he tricking? His wife and him clearly went to bed together.
He goes downstairs to make a call. If she wakes up, he wants her to think he never came to bed. Instead of, I was just having diarrhea.
I found it fascinating, though, to your point, Jason, about what this movie tackles. Like, to have gone home with this gentleman, to have also seen the moment where his son realizes,
Yes.
after his dad is such a hard ass and so particular about this and that his dad is cheating on his mom.
Dad is a liar.
And is a liar.
And the
It
kid
was
goes
so-
full Pigpen.
He does.
This kid Pigpens
Such a
himself
story.
in Act
It
3.
was-
I mean, Kevin, the third kid in the crew, has a full arc.
He really
in
does.
Act 3.
And
he
it
goes
arcs out
full
beautifully.
Pigpen.
You know who I also loved was the actress that Frank ends up with.
I did too.
Incredible.
I did too. Now,
The little
I didn't-
brunette who's fantastic.
She's
Fantastic.
wonderful. I didn't understand or I didn't see the lead up to that. I was really quite
Oh,
you
it's
think?
in there.
It's in there.
Oh,
I
she
guess I
is
must have missed it.
pining for
It's
him.
baked
No,
in there,
I
but you
knew
didn't
that
see it from
she
Frank.
wanted him. I didn't see it from his.
I
side.
felt it was
Yeah, he
like
doesn't
we're
want
watching
her.
through Frank's eyes, so Frank
Oh.
isn't noticing her the same way the blonde isn't noticing him, but really
Yes.
he is
So-
noticing
But
her.
when he
Okay, so
gives-
what I thought or what I was hoping for was that what Frank was learning through his father really connecting emotionally with V was that it was more important to see someone's heart first.
I think that is
That
right.
is right? Okay.
I thought at the
Meanwhile, I Only Have Eyes for You is playing, right? Like, it's the sock hop. I mean, incredible song, devastating song. He gives the leather jacket to the blonde, right? And then he asks the brunette to dance, and I start sobbing.
Again.
And I write in the thing, all caps and exclamation points, he chooses the brunette.
I need to get you all into therapy.
Were you identifying with the brunette?
Of course I'm identifying with
Yeah,
the
we
brunette.
all are, yeah.
Never picked.
Hour.
Oh,
Hour.
come
And then
on.
a gunfight breaks out when a British man runs in there.
Oh, just
Again, if you
worry about
eliminate
everything.
47% of this movie, yeah, there's maybe some moments.
You know
cherry
what?
pick-
What
You
did,
know when else
what did
I-
your dad say? Don't worry about that.
Yeah. You know where else? Here's another moment I cried at. Another moment I cried at. Ed Harris, again, just incredible performance. But I really want to give it up to this kid, too, because when Ed Harris says, she's a Grace Kelly, isn't she? About Melanie Griffith to his son, I was like, and he's like, yeah. I was like, brr.
She's not. She's
two-
not a Grace Kelly.
Neither was the mom.
Neither was the
Neither
mom,
was
though,
the
Paul.
mom.
Why do they have to be a Grace Kelly? Can't it be like my wife, my beautiful
Wait,
wife?
like Borat?
Like it's like
You wanted it to be
the
Borat?
person I want she looks enough like her
No.
that I will marry her. And then this person, by
No.
proxy, it's a weird
No,
thing.
no,
It's
because
like I wouldn't keep up these
what
things.
So
You're-
hard to break from Paul, given the last show I was
You
at. But
can't.
the
You
have
read
to,
of this
Casey.
is
You have
Isn't
to.
it
all
weird,
wrong.
audience? Thank you.
Wait, is
Can you raise
anybody
your hand
on
if you
board for
did
this?
like it? I just
Okay,
show.
wait, whoa.
Show
Wait,
of
hold on.
hands.
It
Who's
is
on
a-
my side?
Can we get house lights? Now, who's on the right side?
Very few.
Okay, so
Okay.
1/4.
so it's
1/4.
like
A
it's
little bit
One
equal, but
fourth.
not totally.
1/4.
So a few of them
Totally.
are more with Paul.
feels
I would
like
love to
1/4.
Feels
drill
like-
down on the numbers
I
and the
will say-
data a little bit more.
I will say for those listening, it
Survey
is
to
the
go out.
beautiful people who agree with us.
Majority
Really
rules, baby.
shocked.
I watched it and I was like,
be a
why are we
moment-
doing
this? Might be a moment for me to go out here with my people.
Jeez, and I
chat.
wondered that too.
Let's
when I
see
heard
what
the
they have to
movie.
say, because maybe they
Because I
have a
love it
point
so
of
much.
view. Yes, okay, sir. How you doing? All right, what's your question?
So, assuming that they're together at the end of the movie, two of his friends, his best friends, have seen his mom's breasts, and one of their dads has had sex with him. That's
Yeah.
a really
I
weird.
literally never
But-
thought of that.
I never thought of that, but what I
Boom.
loved, no, not boom. Not
You
boom
guys are
at
so
all.
caught up in detail.
You know what?
Who
You know what though?
Who cares? A
I
breast
feel
is a
like
breast. A
in
hole is a
small
hole.
towns like
Who cares?
this, that's the shit that's going on, man.
Honestly,
if
yes.
if you ask around in your friend group here in Los Angeles, who
Yes.
here who's with someone that they're in love with has fucked one of that person's friends?
I
Raise
see
your
one
hand.
hand. One hand,
This
and now
is-
I see his
this-
person that he's
One
with.
hand this man has
This,
put up.
this
Two,
is a hero.
2 hands.
And here's what I'll say, and this is why I love Eve so much, is that she's not trying to be his mom. In fact, she says multiple times, I'm not your mom.
I'm a friend of the family.
I'm a
Well,
friend
I
of
mean,
the
she's
family.
behaving in a way that if she was his mom would be truly insane.
That's what but she's
He
not
doesn't even
leaning
know
into
what
that.
his mom is. He has no time with his mom.
Paul,
But that's
he's
not her
learning. He says, so this is what it's
But
like to
then
have
she
a
is
mom.
his mom. But then she is his mom.
But
No.
No, she owns
she's
the ice
not.
cream
Talk to me.
store,
Tell me
Paul.
why I'm right.
I mean, aren't there laws against what's going on in this movie? For a reason?
Name them. Name those laws. Name them.
He's right. There are laws.
She's not fucking this kid.
No. And not
She
only that,
considers it.
what we
She
are all
considers
doing.
it. That's what we're not talking
She
about.
never
When he says,
considers
teach my son how to
it.
fuck, she's like, okay, I guess. I'd rather fuck you, but I guess I will teach your son how to fuck.
She doesn't teach his son how to fuck.
She thinks about it.
I forgot that too.
That's
All
definitely
right, I feel I'm
something
coming
that
over here because I
happened.
feel
You're
like you're
making this seem gross and it's wholesome.
Okay, so first of all, team laundry. Second of all, we haven't talked about the classroom scene about teaching the sex.
Okay.
Okay, that
Now this-
that I'll give
now
you
this
all.
is
I'll give it
weird.
to
I'll
you.
give this
Yes,
one.
That's very
I agree.
extreme.
We're
This
not
is weird.
that insane. Okay, that one was
That
weird.
was
Just
very
This
set it
is
weird.
up.
a bridge too far.
But here's the
But
thing.
here's my problem with it, if I may.
Please.
My problem with this scene is Frank is failing this class. He needs this presentation to
Agreed.
pass.
Why
but
not?
he does it all with Melanie Griffith in the room and the teacher's locked outside.
And
He's
I
not
would
gonna
argue,
pass the class.
I would argue
Yeah.
that what he's doing as a presentation is incredibly, safe and sanitary. Like he's not doing anything that's like,
Are you worried it's not sanitary?
well, I mean clean. Like it's like it wasn't like he got in
No,
there
yeah.
and taught them how to fuck. Like which is what that scene should have been. But what he did was
Expand on that. What do you mean? Expand on that.
What I'm saying is they treat that scene where he locks the teacher out like, oh, I'm now gonna give you guys something the teacher doesn't want you to know. And what he does is just do a straight up biology report with a human subject who's in a leotard. Like there's
But the
nothing.
kids are thrilled.
Yes.
But like what I'm saying is there's nothing.
Yeah, but it was like, whose benefit is this for?
Right.
He needs the grade.
He needs a grade, and that would have gotten him a good
I
grade,
agree.
think.
This scene
This scene is harder
genuinely
to defend.
makes no
Yep.
sense. It
Listen.
really doesn't.
because
I
she
totally
should have
agree.
been teaching them how to fuck.
There are, let's be super.
Like
I'm not saying that I want that.
Wait, like
but that's
Paul.
that's like what it was.
Paul, you
See.
keep coming back to that. I just want to say, the person who agreed with Paul before, do you still agree with Paul?
No.
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 they
Is
don't.
that,
I'm not
is that,
saying-
does
I'm
Paul
not saying-
represent everybody
Don't
here?
know. What I'm saying is it's written in a way that it's supposed to be scandalous, and it yet is not. Now, look, I had a sex ed class taught by my gym teacher where he put a dildo in the shyest girl's lunch bag. And while she, all right, I'll back it up.
What?
So there was this very nice girl.
I think this
Upset.
is the kind of stuff you need to understand about how Paul receives a movie.
So upset.
Honestly, I was agreed. Yeah.
So I went to a Catholic school, and
This is why Paul had trouble with milk money.
our head of phys ed was teaching our sex ed class, and there was a very nice shy girl in our class, very shy, and
God, this is as devastating as milk money. Go ahead.
This is worse.
she
This is worse.
she
I'm
went
really upset.
She went to the bathroom, and he was like, guys, watch this. And he took out like this, like not in a very graphic dildo, but it was like something we'd show how to put a condom on, right? It wasn't like something like ball is and veins. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, the audience doesn't need to scream veiny. Veiny.
appreciate you.
Girthy. Girthy, veiny. I know
So-
we're doing milk money, but try not to jerk off audience at Largo.
So
You fucking creeps.
he takes this like penis substitute and puts it in her lunch bag.
Penis substitute.
Substitute?
Okay, class, I'll be your penis substitute. Your teacher's out, your penis is out sick. I'll be your penis substitute.
So
Now I'm on board for Saturday night.
she comes back into class and
This is
she
a
starts
very
to open
upsetting.
her brown lunch bag, and he goes, Patricia, what is this? And he then goes into her lunch bag and pulls it. Like, oh, what is this? What do you have in your lunch bag?
Such a cool thing. So funny. I'm sure she received it the exact right way. Oh, this poor girl.
Now we're all in on it because we saw him plant it. And
You co-signed that.
God. So
No.
you didn't speak up.
And so then,
I would have said, I'm sorry, that's mine.
And then he went like this. He's like, oh, I'm just joking with you. I put that in there. All right, now moving on to chapter 2.
Now, that's how he learned about sex.
Listen, here's what I'm not going to debate. There are many things that are absolutely inappropriate and against the law, and I didn't like seeing her even when she was teaching him dance. I didn't like seeing her dance
I didn't
over
love
him.
that.
I didn't like it, and but I actually
Oh, I thought it was kind of creative with the thumbs.
that part of the dancing I loved. But
Honestly,
when she
I love
danced
the
over
dance.
him in her skirt.
Oh, that was crazy.
But he closes,
Didn't
he
like
does
that.
this again.
Right.
No, but that was-
that's great for him. But why
And
would
Drop
she
Dead
do
Fred
that?
looked up his mom's skirt. Anyway, go
that was
yeah.
bad.
Drop Dead Fred wasn't a real character.
Absolutely.
Seems like he was.
Let's not do this right
Oh,
now.
I will go into this if you do
Your
not
question.
start.
Hello, my name is Melissa. My question is, we've already touched on the fact that there was the kid hiding in the hamper and saw his sister naked in the shower. There seem to be a few other incestual undertones, like when they said that Melanie Griffith's character was Ed Harris's sister, and then the family was watching them from outside, and the mom was like, I wish you two would be close like that. So just curious about your thoughts on the
that?
Honestly, I
Served it
saw
up.
it and I heard it. Casey also has a very close relationship with her brother. So, and some of the questions. So I am particularly.
Is that why you like this movie?
I relate
Is that why you
to
like this
it.
movie? Because of the sibling relationship
am-
depicted
You know
between
what,
Ed
dude?
Harris and Melanie Griffith?
My husband says my brother and I have the biggest will they, won't they. Exactly.
I have heard you say about your brother that he's your lobster.
It's weird. So I'm very sensitive to that, especially with siblings. I don't like it. Okay. But what I appreciated about this movie, and that scene in particular at the ice cream shop, which, V will come to buy with $250,000. She'll also buy a convertible and all of the wetlands.
It was
begs the
1994,
question,
you could get a
how
lot.
much could the wetlands cost?
Yeah, I was like,
Hey.
wetlands are $3,000.
Ed Harris, sell your house.
By the way,
wetlands.
kids, sell that porn. Buy your dad the wetlands.
Here's the thing. No one else cared about the wetlands except for him and V. But
By the way, that was a cute moment when he tied himself to his own truck. I
it
really
was
enjoyed that moment.
So sweet. I love him so much. But so I'm sensitive to that. I don't like those kinds of jokes. I'm not interested. But
Seems like you do on a bunch of occasions.
whoa. But in that scene, I actually was like, they kept on cutting back to that family, watching them almost make out. And I was like, wow, this is what's so special about the movie, the amount of time they took.
Yes.
With those reaction
that
shots
family.
and that scene developing, because it wasn't just like a gross out reaction shot of like, ew. It was like,
It builds.
No, it builds.
It's a
And
joke.
like-
It's a good build. Because what I
Yes.
liked about that was, yes, of course, there's an incest joke. I did not like the incest joke about the kid watching his sister in the shower because that is
I didn't care for that
bananas.
one bit.
That's like straight up creep stuff, right? But this is a misunderstanding because
Yes.
of a miscommunication and a lie. They think these are brother and sister. And then the step by step, well, are you sure it isn't brother-in-law or sister-in-law?
Yep.
And then they start, I want you to make it. I thought that was also very
And
funny.
we also get some backstory on that random family that these siblings are struggling.
By the way, I want to bring our attention to something. Oh, I don't want to bring it, but I'll say that I've noticed, but you haven't raised your hand until now, or at least I didn't see it. We've had last night and tonight 2 wonderful babies here in the back of the audience. And I saw you
Where?
all last night. People said, oh, you missed them. I said, well, I didn't want to call attention to it, but now you've raised your hand, so I feel like I can go over.
The baby raised
these
its
are,
hand? Oh my
these are
God, they're
The
so
milk
little.
money is for everyone.
This is-
Guys, the babies,
These
I have an
are-
update, are so little. It's
These are
crazy.
the littlest, cutest babies.
How
I
little
can't
are
even
they?
express how cute they might be. The cutest babies we've ever had.
Oh my
at a
God,
live
I
show.
want it. Can I have one? You've got 2.
Can I? Well, let me. I know you raised your hand, but how old are these babies?
They're 4 months old.
4 months, and they are cute, and they are twins.
Yes, they're twin girls, and this is Evan Jane and her sister Elliot.
Oh
These
my
are the
gosh!
best babies
Evan and
ever.
Elliot?
I
Can I have
can't-
one of them? Whichever
I
one you
truly
don't
can't
want.
get over how cute these babies are. Like blowing the roof off of cuteness here. All right, so what is your question?
Well, first I just wanted to tell June that one of our twins is named after you. We
June, you got to get down here and check out this baby. You got to check out this baby.
We need a picture, June. We need a picture.
Paul, you weren't lying. They're absolutely beautiful.
There's steps here. There's steps right here.
Elliot June? Tonight's too much. I love you too. Oh my gosh. Ugh, Paul,
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
pretty insane sight.
give me another baby.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go visit these babies.
Oh, wait, and so just for clarity's sake, neither of them is named after me? I mean, I'm on record as loving babies and wanting
This
them.
has been an amazing, beautiful moment. Do you have a I want to make sure I get your question if you have one.
we had a lot of conversations about this movie, having 4-month-old twins. And I was wondering, June, if you were to pass on, God forbid, and go to the big stage in the sky. And Paul somehow found himself in this situation. What would you hope he would do?
By the way, this is a great question.
We
You
repeat
did
it,
top
Paul.
yourself.
What would you
And by the
hope-
way, it's something that June and I talk about a lot. We do.
What was the question?
The question
you were
was,
to
if
pass
you die,
away.
You were to-
what do you want me to do? Would you like me to be in a situation like
So
this?
it's interesting. I actually did think. Well, we did talk about the clothes. I
It's
will
mostly
say it
clothes
now, and I'll
related
put
for
it
you.
down. No, I'll put it down. For eternity, and on this podcast, and we all can hold Paul accountable. I want Paul to move on very quickly and find
very
someone
quickly.
else.
She says
Yeah.
it very quickly.
I do.
And I told June, die alone.
I do. Here's what I want though is like I want a celebration. I want so much fanfare around the passing, and then I would like Paul to he knows he has my blessing. But just put away my clothes.
You have to
and
clap
stuff.
for that.
But so
One
you're,
person clap.
what you're saying is you're fine with him moving on
I
as
don't
long
want
as
my
he
s-
doesn't dress her in your clothes.
don't want my stuff
in
there.
some sort of weird cosplay of
Yeah,
you.
I don't
And as
want
long
that.
as I keep my children in tight pajamas.
As long as you keep the kids in tight pajamas. And I would like a number of pictures up. I didn't like that he kept all the pictures of her away. That felt really wrong. I'd like a couple wonderful approved photos.
Oh God.
And then live your life. Life is for the living.
I would love if your
Wow, that's
will
very generous.
if your will was just like these are the approved photos.
That's such a good
By the
idea. And I'm going to
way-
do it tonight.
By the way,
I'm going to do it tonight. Thank you, Jason.
Honestly, thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Guys,
go-
you're welcome.
Here we go back. All right, here we go. One more question. What do we got?
Ed Harris was fully ready to go to jail. Who was going to watch Frank?
Oh, great question. Ed Harris was
Here's
ready
the
to go
deal.
to...
If you don't mind me saying, here's the deal. Frank's been basically on his own this whole time.
True.
Ed Harris is barely a parent.
But by the way, also has no family, like no aunts, no anything. Like it seems
Frank is, I would argue, Frank is in many ways raising Ed Harris. Ed Harris, it feels to me to
That's
be...
a better title, Raising Frank.
Is it?
The title is interesting.
It
Milk
is.
Title
money.
is
I'd love to just-
unsettling.
It's,
Yeah.
it's unfortunately
It's
sexual
hard.
for how much the movie is based around boobs.
Yeah.
Milk Money plays no part of the story because
They do, yes,
No,
it
they
does.
give their
Oh,
money.
it's
They say
referenced.
it's
It's
milk
referenced by
money.
name. Wait a minute. You said milk money is in no way part of this movie, except for when they say milk money.
But Milk Money is like not even like they didn't sell milk to go see a woman's breast.
Okay, wait a minute. Milk money doesn't refer to the selling of milk. It's the money you're given to buy milk at school, and these kids are buying porno with it. And they're giving these guys their milk money. Like, hey, give me your milk money is what a bully says to
Right,
you.
right.
Not the money you made selling milk.
I was
Hey, dairy man, give me your milk money. However much you've made selling that pasteurized moo juice.
I was a milk attendant
Attendant.
in my
What
school.
does that mean?
We're back at school.
I would
I wish
go
I was
to the
presently a milk attendant.
All right, so I would go into the milk locker and then I would say, all right,
The milk locker?
a big giant freezer or refrigerator, and I would go, okay, so Mrs. Meyer's class, they need 12 milks because 12 kids paid for that. And then I would boom, 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 and then I would stack them up in milk crates and then bring them to different classes.
That's what I call opening someone's bra. Entering the milk locker.
So,
Hear me out.
but one of the things about being a milk attendant is you could shave some money off the top.
But, do you know that the
Wow.
statute of limitations is up?
I'm
You're
free and
skimming.
clear. I'm
You're
free.
skimming off big milk.
How much? How much?
Because everyone was $1 a milk, and so they would put it in the thing, and then you'd have all that cash.
Now I understand how you misunderstood the title of the movie. Because for you, milk money is something very real.
Yeah.
As a milk attendant, going into the milk locker and skimming off the top of milk sales. You're some sort of milk. This is some sort of milk embezzlement scheme. You're the Michael Milken. Come on. The Michael Milken of Long Island.
I could walk away with a few bucks in my pocket and free milk.
So you were also taking
Chocolate
the
milk,
for free.
by the way, because you could have chocolate or regular. And I take the chocolate for myself. Didn't have to
Wow,
pay for
and
it.
you're lactose intolerant. Is this why?
You're
when
like
I was
the
a milk
Henry Hill.
attendant, I didn't know it. Yeah.
You're the Henry Hill of your school's milk. You're like just a little
Milk
taste
attendant.
off the top.
Dude, when I went to school, so my dad worked in a pharmacy, and I realized very early on that, like, I said to my dad, I was like, "Can you order like a case of bubble tape and all these gobstoppers?" And I would bring them and then sell them in my school out of my locker. I would
Always
sell.
an entrepreneur.
I would get
Tip
I had
that.
wholesale candy in there. And everyone would come, boom, boom, boom. And I would think, you get like a whole thing of bubble tape for like 12
your
bucks.
childhood is like one of the kids in the movie.
Yes.
Which makes me confused why you don't like the movie.
I think it's triggering him.
Is it
or
too
something.
close
It's
to
triggering
home?
Way
him.
too close.
Well, then I also made deals with this kid on my bus who said his dad kept all of his porn in his locker, and I would give him money, and then he would free the porn, and then I would able to distribute that porn to other people.
What?
Yes.
What are you
Paul,
talking
I think
about?
you have a lot of Paul, I think you have a lot of Frank-like qualities.
This is your life story.
I did bring my friends into New York City one time. We went to Show World with fake IDs, and then
Show World is a strip club.
And I went there as a 12-year-old.
Paul.
And
you had a fake ID?
Well, you went to the store and you got an NYU ID, and it said I was a college student, but I was only 12. And then you showed it to the people at Show World, and they would let you in. I think they knew I wasn't in college. But
Oh, you think? You think? I like that there's a little, you're not quite
You're
sure.
like, I was chewing on my bubble tape
I
and my...
think they knew I was 12.
I was selling gobstoppers.
And there was a moment where I was walking around Show World as a 12-year-old, and this woman approached me and she said, "Do you want to watch me take a shower?" And I said no.
Paul,
And
this movie.
This is Frank!
Paul, this movie is your life. Did you sign away life rights?
Is that why you're mad you didn't make a cut?
just feel like there could have gotten some better moments in there. And I remember that moment because I was like, I don't want to watch you take a shower, so I'm going to wait outside Show World. And I hung outside Show World and talked to the bouncer for a long time. While my two other friends were doing whatever they were doing.
Watching someone take a shower,
But
probably.
before we got to Show World, this guy was like, "You want to like meet a?" This is crazy. He's like, "Do you want to meet a sex worker?" And we like, "Yeah." And he started to lead us down an alley. And at that point, I was like,
"This movie is your life." By the way, I just want to go on record. We are
I've
2
never heard of any of
hours
this.
into the show.
Never heard of
And
any of
only now are you inadvertently admitting and realizing this is your life story on film.
I did not put it all together. And as we were walking down that alley, I said, "This is bad. Let's go." And then the guys said, "Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going?" And we're like, "We're going to get out of here." And I pulled my friends out, and then we went to Show World.
Yeah, the only difference is he didn't have a gun like this guy did.
He might have. We didn't go down far enough down the alley. All right, I feel like I
Wait,
revealed.
will you just let Tim ask his question?
Of course. Tim kept his hand up the entire time, knowing that, okay, we were coming to the end. Tim, what do you got?
I'm a school teacher, and whoever wrote this movie has no idea how school works. The dance has 0 security. You aren't allowed to leave your students alone to take a phone call.
But what about in 1994?
Yeah.
Well, I can't speak to that. But
When I was a kid, I mean, it was pretty
It's
free.
Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh.
And she says that he needs to pull his grade up by giving an oral presentation with visual aids and footnotes.
How do you give footnotes during?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought where we were heading with the class was that he was failing math.
Same.
And I was
I
like,
did.
oh,
Oh, that's
actually,
fun.
V
I
is
did
great
too.
at math, and we're actually going to come around to the fact we're not buying an ice cream store. She's like, I'm going to start tutoring.
I would
It
have.
would be great if that was one of her
that.
skills.
Now
because
here's where
because
here's where the movie is limited, right? Like we don't get to understand is what her goals are beyond motherhood or beyond just sort of like suburbia, if she has any other interests. And so I'm wondering that the whole movie, and then come to find out she's purchased an ice cream shop. And I was like, wow, I didn't know she
Yeah,
liked
did they
ice cream
tap that?
much.
Like at one point, was she like, oh, one day or anything?
No, I think she just.
she also,
did
by the
like
way,
ice cream.
this movie is
They did
crazy.
have
She
fun.
drives off at the end without the dad and the son.
She's like,
peace.
But
she's like,
that's
I'll
what
see
I-
you later. And they're like, are we going to see you again?
But
And
that's
she's like,
what
yeah, I own the
loved.
ice cream shop.
But that's what I loved about the ending was we didn't end on them together. Which
No,
was
we
But they are.
It
They
was
are. The
appropriate.
presumption is they will be.
Of course.
I
However,
agree.
We're going to rewind and kind of restart.
she needs to restart her life, and I thought that was such a powerful choice. And
That
even
was
though
so radically undercut by the last line of the movie, which is from Frank. It is repeated twice, and it is, I have a hair. I have a hair.
And
The last
now
line of the movie
he's
is
dangerous.
He rips his shirt open as if he can feel it growing. She drives up and he's like, it's happening.
Watching his dad get fucked gives him, makes him go through puberty.
She bought the wetlands. I write here. She bought the wetlands. She bought the ice cream shop. I'm sobbing. What is wrong with me?
I
wrote that in my notes.
But I am left worrying about her finances.
I totally agree, Casey. I think she blew it all.
Like I wish it was $1 million, even for that time. I
know.
It was I felt limited with
what is it,
94
94?
with
94 is $250,000.
Okay.
Here's the great thing about sex
She just
work.
bought so much.
I know, but she has something to fall back on.
Plus,
There we go.
Always will.
Ed Harris seems to be doing fine. Whatever he's
Financially?
up to, they have a beautiful house. They live
Yeah,
out in
they
the
do.
suburbs.
I mean,
they're
they-
not living in a flop house in the
That's
city.
true.
They're living
That's
in the
true.
suburbs in a beautiful. They're living
because of
madman
medical
life.
malpractice.
What's that?
Medical malpractice.
Because of the dead wife?
Yeah.
Zoinks. Do we
Again,
know that?
Deleted scene. That's
Do we
what I
know
said.
that?
We don't know it, but something
We intuit it?
obviously went wrong.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, when Frank says that she died at the moment of his birth at the same time he was born, that he knows that, I was like, oh, this kid is breaking my heart.
It was devastating.
I just wish someone would name a baby after me.
They haven't yet.
But you know what? Obviously, there's a lot of opinions here, but tonight we're going to hear some other opinions too. And now it is time for second opinions.
Milk, money, movie, sex, positivity, normalize the body, and Hesh R.I.P. All the critics clutching their pearls. I give it 5 stars, I'd give it the world. Oh, sex work is work. Oh, sex traffickers are jerks. Grace Kelly, wetlands, leather jacket, learn to dance. Freedom from Caligula, fresh start for a new romance. Second opinions, here's one from me. Certified fresh in 2003. Oh, slut shaming hurts. Oh, what's up, jerks? Sex work is work. Sex work is work.
Thank you, Jen. Here you go. Thank you for that. Oh, great. Pass it back to you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Liam.
That was amazing.
Jen, what did you put on the microphone?
Oh, it's a microphone condom.
Great. I loved it.
It's a diaphragm, yeah.
Diaphragm. All right, these are second opinions from Amazon.
I
There
noticed
are-
it because she put it just against the microphone and it got sucked right onto it. That's how they work.
There are 775 total reviews. 80% are 5-star. Let's get right into it.
80% are 5 stars.
Yeah,
That's
only
right.
2% are 1-star.
Right.
From William L. Hendricks, he writes, cute, some funny, some serious. Melanie steals the show from Harrison Ford. Just a good, lighthearted story about how business goes. So I just want to read that end one more time. Just a good, lighthearted story about how business goes. All right. Ramon Villalobos writes this. Was a little distracted by the children in this film attempting to render the services of a prostitute. Certainly this is not legal, but she seems to go along with it, ? And the love story between the aforementioned prostitute and one of the boy's fathers. But as an environmentalist myself, I was moved by the story of one man's quixotic attempts to save a marshland from the ravages of capitalism.
5 stars.
Ed Harris thrills as a man almost blindly focused on his attempts to save a precious ecosystem to the point where he ignores his own son's longing for parental guidance and criminal activities. Very cute and should delight the entire family. Highly recommend. Oh, one minor critique might be the utter, UDDER, lack of milk in this film.
Whoa!
5 stars.
You agree with that part, though.
I do agree. There's not enough milk in
As
here.
a milk attendant.
Oh,
Milk
God.
attendant.
And
Please write a follow-up called that is a follow-up that brings this universe. That's a Jeremy Renner movie called The Milk Locker.
This one is written by Ward. Very funny movie, and the acting was very realistic. There were many times when the man in the movie was saying something that was interpreted entirely differently by the female, which made for a very funny situation. The plot was very interesting and unusual. That classic man-woman scene there.
Unusual.
All right, so that's what we got, people. I mean, we really broke this movie down.
Oh, I could go for hours more.
$20 million budget, opening weekend, $5 million. Made $18.1 million. Came in number 80 of all the movies of 1994. The top movies of
80?
80, yeah. The top 3 were Lion King, Forrest Gump, and True Lies. This
It's a hard year.
Yeah,
It was.
tough year.
It's a hard year to break through, you know.
This movie did beat Street Fighter, Ghost in the Machine, and Double Dragon, but it was beat by The Specialist, Time Cop, Disclosure, The Shadow, Junior, and Color of Night. A real banner year for how did this get made.
Incredible year.
Big year for us on the show. And some of the titles it was in other countries we've been doing this. Choosing Mommy, that's in Argentina.
Paul, I just didn't hear you. What?
Yeah. Choosing Mommy, that's Argentina.
Cool, if somebody could just isolate that and make a song out of it.
And in Greece, Jason, your homeland, it was called A Woman for Daddy.
Yes! You would be shocked how often I say those exact words.
In Turkey, this movie was called Little Womanizer. And in Canada, this movie was called When the Kids Get Involved.
That's very Canadian.
So, I mean, I think I could tell from the way that you all speak of it, you highly recommend this movie.
Yeah. There's some scenes in the movie that should not ever be seen. You know, they should be cut. They should be animated. I don't know what should happen, but something should happen.
Is one of those scenes when he says, I want to make love?
No,
was
you know
okay
what
with
one of the
that.
scenes is that's like absolutely should be like none of us should be able to watch is when the little boys are ogling the little girls walking into school and the camera gives us
I was going to politely
POV
sidestep
shot.
that scene.
That's the shot where I was like, I can't.
Absolutely.
Am I in trouble? What is this? I shouldn't. Is this allowed?
Is this a trick?
Yeah, it was. Again, we have to know that. You know, we have to know that that's a part of this.
Yeah, we have to take responsibility, and yet
there are this movie. Really, I was really connected to the characters. I love that they didn't end with her and the kid and the husband and the house. I don't even know if she's going to live there. I don't know where she's going. You know, I picture
Can't
her
go too
living
far.
above the ice cream shop. And I think that's great. I really do. And I really enjoyed it, and it really spoke to me when she said, you know, what'd she say about where you can touch a woman and her heart?
There's
Something-
one
Heart.
special place.
Oh,
That
I cried.
part was a weeper.
See,
cried.
By the way,
Cried.
I cried then.
So,
I
by
cried
the
where
way,
she held the backpack.
I will
Cried.
argue that the reason why he's like, oh, that's where you touch a woman. He goes to touch his heart, and he's like, a hair.
Oh.
I bet you're right.
Yeah.
But he feels it through his shirt?
Well, he's like,
No, he wanted a
Yeah.
button
Well,
one.
June, yeah, you can always feel him.
Oh.
he's trying to finger his own heart, and he's
Whoa,
like,
whoa.
Casey, it's been so lovely to have you back. Welcome back to the show.
I'm so happy to be
It
here.
was really healing. It was healing.
Thank you all
space
so much for
tonight.
having me. It feels really good to be back, and it feels like we mended some things.
I think
Yeah.
so, and I think we needed this time
to heal. And I want to give a shout out. This beer is incredible.
It was really
Genuinely
good.
loving
Yes,
it.
this is from our friends at The Wrong Crowd. That's the beer company out of Chester, Pennsylvania, with their Where Does the Butt Start Pale Ale.
I
It says-
wish I could drink it.
And by the way, it says in the back, it says, what's up, jerks? We got a hot tip to try out experimental hop variety. Well, this goes on to about the beer. Now, there's a couple of references to our show, but it's not enough for me to read the whole thing.
Team Sanity.
But I appreciate it all. Casey, you want to tell us anything you want anyone to do? And
Oh,
see,
and
or-
do you want to reconsider any of your opinions on Drop Dead Fred?
Don't want to go back there, Jason.
Fair enough.
I host Bitch Sesh podcast if you like housewives and comedy. And I'm just so happy to be here, and I really feel better about you two.
Wow.
Thank you. I feel better too.
Yeah.
June and I will talk about it on our phone call later.
Paul, I'll call you.
Well, we'll be there. All right. Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Casey Wilson. So great to have her back. Make sure you check out Casey and Danielle's Garbage World. It's a brand new home of Bitch Sesh, Garbage Sesh, and so much more. It is an amazing new podcast empire that they are doing. Just go to Casey and Danielle's garbageworld.com. That's Casey and Danielle's garbageworld.com. I bought a subscription for an entire year. I'm getting on the Discord. I'm getting bonus episodes. They are absolutely amazing. Now, we talked about the tour in the last episode. How did this get made? It's going on the road on the East Coast. We've added an extra date. That's right. We've added actually 2 extra dates. I'm talking about Boston on August 8th at the Wilbur. We were at the Chevalier. We sold out. Now we're going in town to do a show at the Wilbur. We also are right on the verge of adding a brand new New York show, or maybe a New Jersey show. That's right. If you are north of Bergen County, you're going to want to hear this. Anyway, keep up to date on all the tour announcements by going to hdtgm.com. But right now, you can get tickets to our second Boston show. Go to the Wilbur/artist/How Did This Get Made? Or like I said, just go to hdtgm.com. It's just that simple. I want you to know that we always have t-shirts, great t-shirts. And while we won't have a t-shirt of my long story about going into Times Square, we have some great ones in our shop at tpublic.com/stores/HDTGM. We will be back next week with all your questions on all your observations about Milk Money. Plus, Jason and I will sit down, relax, and have a chat. I appreciate him filling in for me on the last Looks episode. And if you want to add any of your thoughts, just head on over to our Discord at discord.gg/HDTGM. We will see you next week for Last Looks. And until then, bye for now.